Can you, Toots, wave?
Almost 7 million animals come into shelters every year, according to the ASPCA. My purpose of this speech today will be to persuade you to volunteer or donate to your local animal shelter. I'm credible to speak on this topic because I have donated to my local animal shelter for the past few years. I've adopted a dog from there, and I've done research on this topic. Today, I'm going to talk about the basic needs of shelters, the consequences that they face if their needs are not met, and how to take action. First, I'm going to talk about the needs. There are three main needs that I'm going to talk about today. The need for volunteers, their space issues, and their need for donations. Volunteers are very important to shelters as most shelters are nonprofit and they do not have the money to employ people to take care of the animals. Canada says that volunteers can walk dogs, socialize animals, clean, feed, and groom the animals, or do administrative work in the office. Without volunteers, these shelters cannot operate, and even if you only have 30 minutes a week to donate, it can still make a big difference if enough people do it. The next issue is space. There are only so many kennels that these shelters have, and it's very easy for them to get full with so many animals coming in every day. My local animal shelter is very active on Facebook and is always posting about their full capacity. For the past month, for whatever reason, they've had a really big problem with the shelter being at full capacity or over capacity. This makes it really hard for them to take in any more animals, and it puts more stress on the volunteers because they have to stay later, and it puts stress on the shelter as far as money is concerned because it's so many more animals to take care of. Donations is the final need that I'm going to talk about. Shelters are nonprofit, so they need donations all the time, and it doesn't have to be just money. Volunteering is technically under donations as you donate your time, but you can also donate money, food, toys, or even old blankets and towels. Especially in the winter months, they really look for more donations as far as food and towels go because the shelters have cement kennels and it gets very cold in there in the winter. Our local shelter has a drive every year where they ask people to bring in their old towels or blankets that they no longer use so that they can put them down in the kennels for the dogs. If you don't have a lot of money, that's fine because there are so many other ways to donate. You can even share things on Facebook, and that can help out because it can help the animals get adopted. My mom shares things all the time on Facebook, and actually one of her friends came to our local animal shelter from about an hour and a half away and adopted a dog. So any little thing that you can do really does help. Next, I'm going to talk about the consequences if their needs are not met. DoSomething.org says that almost 3 million animals are euthanized every year in shelters. With this number being so high already, we can only imagine how high that it would be if shelters could no longer operate because they didn't have enough money or volunteers and they had to start closing down. Another consequence is that many of these animals that are in the shelter would continue to live in unsafe environments. Most of the animals are either seized from bad homes or picked up on the shelter, and some of them are even turned in. Shelters give these animals a second chance at life, and without them, all the animals would just continue to stay in their unsafe environments. The shelters not only help just the animals, but they help the community as a whole to keep it cleaner and more safe without as many strays running around. It's very easy to take action when it comes to this, as almost every small town has an animal shelter. My town of Weatherford only has a population of about 30,000, but we still have an animal shelter. If more people take action, it will be easier for these animal shelters to operate, and these consequences won't be faced. I have donated the past few years, and I even adopted my dog, Elvis, from there. Come here, Elvis. Sit down. Sit. I got Elvis about 3 years ago, and he was a stray that the shelter picked up and needed to be adopted out. He's a great dog, and I'm really glad that they gave him a second chance. Go. My local animal shelter has a web page through the Weatherford Civic page that tells you how to donate or volunteer your time. I encourage you to look up your local animal shelter, call them, or just walk in and ask them what their needs are and how you can help out. To conclude this speech, I hope that my main points have persuaded you to get involved in your local animal shelter, because with so many animals coming in every single day, it's very important that these shelters remain in operation so that these animals can have a second chance.